listening to the No Invite Podcast. Yeah.
Season 4, The Process.
Bang, 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 bang. We back. No Invite Podcast. Yes, I'm bringing back the bang because sometimes you need more bang for your buck. And here at the No Invite Podcast, if you're going to bang, 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 bang. You dig? And we got Hot Momma. What's happening?
Hey, only the best stuff, you know?
Only the best bang bang for your buck right here. And since you ain't paid for it, you're getting what you paid for, fucking with us. It's the No Invite Podcast, and we are the world's most politically incorrect podcast. We are the world's most weirdo podcast. We're weirdo friendly, but not specific to weirdoism only. How are you doing today?
Today, I am very tired, but I am very happy as well.
Oh, yeah? Happy like gay or happy like happy?
Happy. I don't know. I don't feel kind of gay. I don't feel really gay right now. Just kind of happy.
You like Ann only when you drink, you start feeling gay?
No, I think it's just because I'm so tired is why I'm not feeling really gay.
I ain't got the strength for this today.
No, being gay takes a lot of motherfucking strength and energy. These bitches is wildin', let me tell you.
I'm gonna take your word for that. I'll take it from a professional. I can dig it. So look, we're back. I'm glad that you are back because we definitely have to recap and talk about what you got going on. For those of y'all that don't know, Hot Momma just dropped her brand new podcast. It's called The Love Fix. And she dropped her first episode on International and National Side Chick Day. How are you feeling? I feel like I'm interviewing you fresh off of a fight. How are we feeling, champ?
Hey,
you got the hoodie on, you got your Rocky hoodie on, you get to go. She flew all the way back from the Milky Way to be here, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm telling you.
From the dark corners of the universe. So how was it?
It's surreal. The feeling is surreal, honestly. Being able to hear the feedback too and hearing my voice like that on Spotify. I mean, I guess I hear it like that from, this podcast, but it was different with
different when it's your own.
Yeah.
Not to say that this ain't a piece of this little piece of you that lives here too, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I just follow your lead here, though. I
just definitely.
Get in where I fit in. You know what I mean? Like I do what I can or whatever.
I'd always do what you can, and it's good to fit in places that.
You want to see your people win.
No doubt. No, that's why. I'm gonna tell you my spiel and my take on it. But go ahead. How was it? So it dropped.
So, yeah. It was an amazing feel. Honestly, in the morning, I was a little sad because I woke up at 5 a.m. sharp and I was ready to listen to that shit and I couldn't find it. And I was like, my husband told me that there was a possibility. And you had told me after recording, anywho, you had given me the heads up to that. And so I was sad. And then upon further investigation, I seen it and it made me so happy. And it was at 6 a.m. instead of 5 a.m., which is fine. Just an hour difference. I was so happy. It really made my day. And to hear all the feedback from some listeners made me happy.
Any other podcasts support you or that you've been on and pull up? Did anybody give you I'm not gonna say support you because there's ego and everything, so I don't expect a lot of people. Some people be hating on the under, but did any other podcasters that of listen to your shit and give you any feedback or anything?
No feedback from anybody else besides yourself, but maybe because I think highly of you or something, your feedback was really kind. And so I was like, I really took that into consideration when you told me you enjoyed it and stuff. And I don't know, there was some parts of it that I was unsure about or whatever. And you were like, nah, it's good. And so that made me feel really good. But besides that, nobody else really, there was some friends that I haven't talked to in a really long time that said, they were like, oh, I really enjoyed hearing you laugh. Like, I can't wait to hear more episodes. And that made me so happy because I love to bring a smile to people's faces. And to know that my laugh helped somebody's day, or just made it better was really, really gratifying, or it was really
gratifying. Yeah,
it was really fulfilling. And it made me super excited to release these other episodes that we got already recorded and, those future episodes that we're going to record. And
release.
Oh,
your next
yeah.
episodes.
Those
so now
ones.
that you rubbed your first one out, how do you think? Listen to the Love Fix if you want to hear more shit like that. But now that you rubbed your first one out, and you know, what I mean, it's kind of like, you know, how does it feel? Do you feel the release?
That release was, God, that was what I've been needing for sure. Like, having it drop that day or whatever, or release that day. Wow. Like super, it's real. It just makes it like, okay, so the first episode was the hardest because there was a lot of editing that we had to do. And so from now on, we got our template, you know what I mean? With the intro and outro moving forward, it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So it makes it just like so much more real.
It's really gratifying and really fulfilling when you take an idea that you thought about and contemplated and planned, and then not only execute but see it come to fruition. That's why when I hit you up, I'm like, how you feeling? Because I know how that feels. And I'm sure, like, when you first made your first tie-dye article that you could say you was really happy about, because I'm sure you know what tie-dye is, experimenting. Same thing with podcasting. You do a couple of little dry runs or a couple of things, you're like, nah, this ain't it yet. And then when you finally get to something where you feel like, because it's being exposed, you know, it's like you're exposed. When you're an artist, that's why people say artists are sensitive as shit, because, you know, you're exposing people to, you know, something that you don't know if it's good. You feel it's good. Maybe you do know it's good, but like, you don't know if everybody else is going to feel like that. You're mainly doing it for yourself and hoping that it lands with the people it needs to land to, because I think everything that we do has intention. Mm-hmm. So like how you said, the way I looked at your podcast is it was informative. It was hilarious. And it's something I feel like that you're doing that you could help other people with. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's how I seen it from my eyes looking at it. So I was like, yeah, this shit's dope. And I ain't gonna lie, I skipped through some shit, and I told you that already. You know, I mean, some things just ain't for my ears, because y'all talk about a lot of shit and a lot of different things, and it's no shade to nobody, but I'm just letting you know some shit ain't for me, you dig? But for the most part, I really, just from the outside looking in, I really dug how you guys put it together. How you guys is your chemistry with you and your brother, obviously, because you guys know each other, no shit. But you guys, like you said, that's your brother that you really, you know, could talk about anything with. So that helps a lot because he understands you, and I'm sure you guys then had plenty of conversations prior to this whole thing. But yeah, first one rubbed out. Second one is, you know, swimming around in the chamber, and you know. Anything that you would like to anything else, like what else did you feel after the podcast dropped? I mean, how did like, for instance, me, I like to look at my shit and like study on myself and how to get better. So I at first I would listen to my podcast like a few times before it dropped, just, you know. Now I'm just tired of hearing myself. I'm just like, whatever, motherfucker.
No, you're not.
Even I can't stand myself.
Right. You still like?
No, you're not. You still talk. You talk too much. You're still
here talking that shit. No. One of my things that I really liked from it was being able to have the experience that I've gotten from being with you here. I was able to take that to my brother, and the first couple episodes, he led the way and he did the intro in, you know, welcome to the Love Fix, blah, blah, blah. But I kind of felt like this could be better, you know, this could be better. And so it gave me the confidence, you know, having this experience here gave me the confidence to be like, hey, is it cool if I take the lead and bring us into the show? And that was something that was like, took a lot of confidence in me to ask, because I don't really like to overstep, you know, I like to just be told what to do or whatever. And so taking that initiative made me feel like, hey, you're a boss bitch, you got this. Like,
well, remember when you first came to the podcast and you started doing episodes with us on the regular, that was always your intention. Your intention was to, I'm going to drop my podcast. I want to do one, you know? And I told you, like I tell everybody else that joins the podcast at one time or another, I was like, if this is what you really want to do, this is a great place for you to, you know, earn your bones and, you know what I mean?
That life experience.
Yeah. And, you know, get on the, get on the wagon and then eventually, you know, the training wheels come off and you feel comfortable and you go do your own shit, you know? And that's what I always try to encourage people, because one thing I've said, and it comes with business and everything else, I don't want employees. I'm sure I'm going to have them. But like if you're in my inner circle or if you're somebody that I deal with on some kind of business, I want you to be a boss, your own boss, because only then can we really move together on one accord and really handle some shit. When it's all on one person and only one person and it starts and stops with one person, then you're at the mercy of that situation. See, now, let's say one day I wake up with a fucking wild fucking hair on my ass and shit. I'm like, yo, I'm not doing a no invite podcast no more. You still gonna keep doing what you do. You have your own platform now. You'll be able to carry on. It's gonna suck, but it is what it is, right? I don't have no intentions of doing that. Like I said, I'm not done talking. You know what I mean? But the main thing
I hate it when you say that. Yeah. When you're like, I'm not gonna do this no more, or even when and I get it, like you got so much, but I'm like, don't do me like that.
I'm sorry. I don't like to play with y'all emotions, but like I tell you, it comes from frustration, and it's not because it's not because it's just I got a lot of things that I do. Like the average person that follows me probably has an idea and they think, oh, I got a big team. I don't have a big team. Like when it comes to this shit, I have teams that are compartmentalized. Like for instance, you guys are my no invite team. You feel me? And we are all a team together and we all work and whatever. But then it's like, I don't have a team for the clothing line. I have a team for the label, but I still run most of the duties and responsibilities for that. Yeah. I don't have a team for a lot of shit. So it's like everything that I do is really, if I don't do it, it don't get done. So I always tell people, it's like, if you're around me, I need you to soak it up, because I need you to maybe one day help me the fuck out. You feel me on doing this, what I'm doing now, if you want to feel the need to. But most importantly, I want you to be able to walk away from this experience and be like, I could do this shit.
So I feel like you've given me that confidence. It like feels like I could do this shit. And
I know you can.
Thank you. I did let Tim take the lead with editing, you know, and so
that's your team.
That's my team for sure. But at the same time, I want to know how to do that shit too.
Learn it.
Yeah, and so when it came time to edit this bonus episode that we recorded, I was like, let me see what you're doing.
Yeah, sit with him. I mean, that's how you learn. And you know what? That's important, because it's important to the consistency of your podcast. What if Tim is sick? Or what if you know what? I got a family thing, or whatever the case might be. Shit happens, life happens, and you know what? The show got to roll on. Yeah. Or maybe he just gets busy and he ain't got time. You got to be able to go in there, record yourself, set it all up, and edit. Yeah. And you may not have to do it all the time, because it's good to have help. Like the fact that you have him helping you is big, because you could get burnt out doing it all by yourself. And then you start losing the love for what you're doing.
Yeah, totally.
Because it has to be love involved first. You got to love what you're doing, and for you to want to dedicate as much time to what you're doing.
You know, that happened to me with my tie-dye. Is I was feeling like I had to just produce hella shirts, like fill up my racks. And I got to a point where I was like mixing up colors or doing things, and I was like not even happy with what I was creating. And I was like, nah, cut that shit out, Esther. Like, you really got to be happy with what you do and like be proud of what you're producing. And if you're not proud of producing it, then slow the fuck down. And so I did, and I had to be like real intentional with what I like what I'm creating, because otherwise it's not going to be worth anybody's time. If it's not worth my time, why is it going to be worth somebody else's time?
Yeah. I think right now, being that we're not exactly corporations like that or big industry, we are very small businesses. So I think right now that's the important thing, is that when people buy shit from you, they're buying the artistry.
Yeah,
pure, because you're producing something from your own mind and taking the time because you really like to do this shit. You know, it's like there's a lot of soul in what you do and what we do, right? Like, you know, all this shit. I'm wearing all my shit right now. You feel what I'm saying?
I got your hat right here too. I was wearing it today.
And stop playing, you know? And to me that means a lot though, because I'm sure you feel the same way when you see people you know, wearing your shit. You're like, yeah, you know, this is dope. It feel, you know. So yeah. My thing is like this. I tell people, you gotta love what you do first, because you gotta dedicate that time. And I think if you lead with those fundamentals, you'll be able to sometimes, you know, I'm not gonna say risk, but you'll be able to compromise sometimes, you know, because I do stuff when, like, for instance, my clothing line. I don't do a lot of run. I don't run a lot of shit, you know. So whatever I run, I'll run a handful. And if you want them, get them. They're gone. I'll probably run something else, maybe a similar design or the same design on a different article of clothing or whatever. But you're never gonna get the same shit again. Mm-hmm. And by me doing that, that's to me because I feel like, you know, I have more hands on smaller runs, and they could come out more like how I want them to. So I would rather people have my clothing, but maybe if I had a party and I had people pull up wearing all my clothes, it'd be rare that too many people had the same shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like to keep it like that, and because to me that's part of the artistry. That's part of the artistry. Like
that makes it unique, you know.
These masks I'm wearing are only made 24, but they're pretty much handmade. You feel me? So
I think it makes it kind of like a in-demand thing too, and there's not very much of it, you know, like you want to grab it before it's gone.
That's another thing. Yes, it's exclusivity. It's like, if I know that there's only so much of this, I was breaking it down to my friend. I was like, it's like a bakery. If you're going to run a bakery, there's two ways to run it. You bake a lot of shit every day and hopefully you sell out. Or you're like, I'm only going to bake this much of certain things and that's it. And be niche is what they call it, where it's just, you know, no one's like what you do, kind of, you know, how you operate, because of the limit, the how limited it is. You know, it'll create a demand. Yeah. Because people, especially if they like your shit, then they're gonna know, oh look, I love that, but I got to get there early and buy, you know, the brownies or the muffins that she makes in the morning and shit, or else they're gone. You feel me? So, and to me, I like to be hands-on till we get to that point, though. You know what I mean? I like to be hands-on. I don't like people I don't make shit that I wouldn't wear, put it that way.
Hey, I'm hella high because I want some muffins now or something.
I ain't gonna lie, that sounded really good. Look, we're gonna keep it moving. The week was good, though. So your week was, how was, now that we got that out the way, you know, that was just the recap of you dropping. We done went on all kinds of tangents like we always fucking do. How was your Valentine's Day?
My Valentine's Day was great. I had a really good one. It was really good. So I'm big on telling motherfuckers what I want, right? Like, why am I just gonna expect people to know what I want? Like, and I
like that shit. You gotta be still. Right? This is what I like.
So I told my husband, I was like, I think I want to be like spoiled this year for Valentine's, like, and so he did. He spoiled me. He like delivered me flower or like roses, and like I got this really cute sweater that I'm wearing that I haven't like taken off. It probably smells bad.
That's why you don't want this Wi-Fi technology. But we'll get back to that in a minute. Go ahead.
No, but I basically got spoiled, and I was like so grateful for it. And I told him, I was like, I don't need this every year. I'll let you know when I would need this again. Like, I'm good probably for a while now. Like, I don't know. So I had a really good one and stuff. I was really grateful, really happy.
I think it's important to say what you want. I think over time you learn more and more, you know. But there's certain things like Valentine's is definitely a mood. It's not exactly the same every time. You feel me? Some years you're just like, it's whatever, and some years you're like, let's go fucking, you know what, let's do this or whatever. But the most important thing, and I think in any relationship, is the directness and being like, yo, this is what we feel like. Because as a man, speaking for myself, and I'm sure a lot of men could relate, we can't read your fucking mind when it comes to shit. Like, what the fuck do you want to eat? Seriously.
Don't ever ask me that.
And if you can't, this is my thing. If you can't come up with something, then don't fucking shoot down everything I come up with, because we're never gonna fucking get anywhere. And you know what? At this point, eat a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know
have you seen the meme where it's like the Notebook and he's like, what do you want? And she's like, I don't know. And
yeah,
like, what do you want?
She's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, it was like a spoof movie, right? Where they're making fun of that shit. Yeah, I love those movies, by the way.
Yeah, no, but back to the directness though, for sure. I feel like it's hella toxic to think that like somebody can read your mind in what you want, right? Like to think like, oh, he's gonna know that I want this or that, or she's gonna know that I want that, you know, like, nah, say it with your chest. Like,
and see, that's the thing. Like, since when it comes to that type of stuff, it's definitely a vibe, and you gotta know you gotta know the room. You feel me? If you know that your girl is I want to be romantical and she likes to be pampered type, then that's what you lead with, you know? But if she's not feeling that at that particular year, or she wants to switch it up and do something different, that's when she needs to step in and be like, yo.
Yeah, because that's me, right? I'm hella low maintenance all the time. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, take me out the day before or something. That way we avoid the crowds. Like,
see, and that's what made it good though for y'all, you know. And that's all I'm saying. It's like, you know, with the directness, is there's certain things like there's nothing wrong with knowing your partner and knowing what they want, but I guess if the other person doesn't feel that they want that or whatever the case, speak up.
You
like
know what? No, you go.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say that what really helps, though, is that you can say with your chest to everybody what you want, right? Because not everybody fucking cares about you and what you want. Like, and so that's why I'm like really grateful for like this safe space between my husband and I, where I can say what I want with my chest and he pick it up and be like, okay, got you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because not everybody in life that you say, oh, I want this or I want that is gonna be like, okay, I got you. Like they're gonna look at you, be like, okay, good for you. Like,
see, but you got the kind of demeanor and voice where like you're like a hostage negotiator. Like you could say anything and get your fucking, you know, make it happen. Like just because how you say it, like, okay, everybody, you guys are being really fucking difficult. So
hey, I got my kindly voice and I got
I've heard your yelling voice. So I've heard your flash before. So let's not. There's all kinds of hot mama. There's not just one style. Don't let her fool you and shit. Look at her. She trying to hide that shit.
No, you haven't. Have you heard me?
I've known you for how long? I've heard all your shit. All right, I've heard you. No, but I've heard you once or twice. I'm being extra, but I've heard you once or twice now. You know, I heard you as mellow as you come down here and try to be a hippie. But, I mean, we're all like that, though. Some of us are those are
those things I don't want people to see. Like, don't be looking at me. Fucking check my kids.
Yeah. But you got to though. That's human though. Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. These kids could get checked like everybody else. You know?
Hey, they can get it, first. Motherfuckers. Yeah. They can get it.
Everybody's like, man, fuck them kids. Nah, check them kids first. Check their ass. Let them know they out of pocket first, and then you know, fuck that shit. I mean, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's dope. Valentine's Day was great.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, no, for sure it was.
Valentine's Day was, you know, it's always cool. Like, it's definitely a vibe. It's my thing is that your shit feels special every day. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I got to put my finger in your butt, girl, or whatever makes you feel good, you know, and just let me know. Put my thumb in there. Whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the point is that, you know, let me know what you want sometimes, you know, or else I'm gonna lead with what I know from you. But that's neither here nor there. Valentine's Day was cool. How do you feel about the chick that got kind of, I'm not gonna say she got exposed because we really don't know. Maybe her dude really right like that. Maybe he was in an all like, you know, female environment or something. But I know you've seen it. What do you? I know you've seen it. It's definitely her writing. But look, you seen the post about the chick that posted up all the money and a card saying, "Hey, pack your bags. We're going to Dubai." And the internet was just cooking her because the handwriting was like super, let's call it what it was, like feminine and girly, and definitely looked like no man on earth wrote that, you know, because I don't know what it is. I'm gonna call it what you want. Maybe it's just how we learn styles. I'm sure it's probably a style that could be unlearned, but it's just how girls write and guys write is different. And you know, that doesn't mean you can always tell, but like there's certain examples of, you know, this was from a guy or from a girl. You feel me? I got homeboys that still write like every letter like they're tagging and shit. It's all capitals with the little swoops and I'm like, bruh, you ain't tagged or fucking graffiti no wall in like damn near 20 years, bro. Why you still write like? I hope you don't write like this on your application when you fucking when you try to get a job. I know it's hard for you to get a job if you write like this, but I know casting, you know what I mean? So you could tell what comes from where. So they cooked her. What do you think? Do you think that shit was real? Or do you think that was definitely a female? But see, this is what I was gonna say before that. Go ahead though.
No, you say it before.
I was just gonna say, how do we know that her boo wasn't a girl?
Ooh, look at you.
I just thought about that right now because I was gonna say something. I was gonna say my shit. I was like, wait a minute, how do we not know that she wasn't a female that wrote her that? And everybody just jumped on her neck.
Assuming it was like a...
Ain't no dude do that. But I mean, then again, I don't know the post or maybe how she said it. And maybe she said it was a dude, but like, maybe she didn't say it at all. I'm not quite sure. I goddamn, they got to revisit that post and look. Like, what if it was? She never said what the gender was, and the whole time it wasn't her girlfriend.
Gender assuming.
Yeah. Don't you assume that handwriting? You don't know who the fuck it came from. I'm sure everybody in the house right now thinks I'm a fucking weirdo right now, yelling into the mic like this.
Hey,
I'm just trying to get this.
Everybody knows you're a weirdo. I don't know. So? Bro, they live with you. They know you're a fucking weirdo.
It's true, huh?
There ain't no hiding. I don't know why you think you can hide. Like, you can't hide.
What if I'm like that episode of Family Guy where Peter, the mom, and what's her name? What's the mom's name? Lois. They thought they were the shit when they smoked weed and played their guitars, and they went and finally did a talent show, got high and started playing the guitars, and they're like, "Yeah, we fucking killed it." And then it actually shows what happened. They're like, "Oh, hella off tune," and they sounded like shit. What if the whole time, bro, I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm fucking great, dad," and everyone's like, "Yo, this motherfucker is burnt." The whole time, like, yeah, man, I smoke weed. I'm fucking good. I'm the best. Like, what the fuck you can tell me? The whole time, everybody in the house is like, yo, just look out for him. You know, make sure he chews all his food, and you know, he doesn't bump his head and knock him and go to sleep because they worry about me. Really, I'm a ward. I'm incapable of shit.
This whole time.
And I thought I was handling business.
Look at you. You know, that's a high possibility. What you just described there, that's a big possibility.
It could be, but it's all right though. You know, I mean,
they got your back. That's all that matters, right? Like, it's like,
at least I know I'm loved for who I am and not who people think I am.
Okay.
That's like when you got a friend and their parent is just like a fucking a grouchy ass motherfucker and never says that. You go over to their house. You ever been to a friend's house and they have a grouchy ass parent, and you walk in there and it's mad awkward from the gate, and they're just like, "What are y'all doing? What the fuck y'all want in here?" or something. And you're just like, "I just came to hang out with your son, and you know, we're gonna play video games, and get the fuck out of my living room." And you're just like, all right, I'm out of here. Like it's just, you know what I mean? You never had a friend like that?
No, I never had a friend like that before.
Probably different for girls. For guys, it's like, what the fuck are you doing in my house type shit.
Yeah,
you're terrible.
I've always been a pleasure to have around, okay? So
the pleasure is all mine.
Those fucking 30-year-old men from the get, I'm telling you.
Terrible.
Being a woman is
yeah, well, I mean, shit, man. Y'all go through. I've been said it
from the gates, bro. It's disgusting, like how young it starts.
Well, that's why I was saying, like, for instance, like for guys, it's different. For guys, like I said, it's just like we're a threat. So that's how we're treated. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying?
I see that.
While females are like sexualized and stuff like that, guys are treated like a threat. Like, I'm a speak for as far as like brown folks, at least. You know, we're looked no matter what. That's why when I would never trip when I went to my friend's house and their dad was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I'm just like, I came to, you know, what's the name's friend? You know, such as his friend. They're like, you know, I'm not gonna back down, but I'm just not. I'm like, I get it, you know. You don't know who the fuck I am, you know. I don't know. And on top of that, it's like people fuck it up for other people.
They do.
You know what I mean? Motherfucker be stealing. You bring him over to the house, he steals some shit. Now it's like all your friends are looked at like these. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this motherfucker.
It'd always be like, do they have a brother? No, you can't go over there. I swear I never got to hang out at none of my friends' house. It was always like, they can come over here or something, you know. It was
Third and Skrilla. They come to the third block.
Hey, that was off. That was off the hook.
You know what I'm saying? It was 3 levels of fun. All kinds of wild shit going on. But you know, yeah. At the end of the day, man, we kind of just killed that whole topic because we don't know if it was a fucking girl or not. If it wasn't a girl and it was a dude, it wasn't a dude, and she's like the fucking Marsha Brady and shit. Where this is my boyfriend George Glass, and it's like ain't nobody. It's an imaginary made up person. Then she's wilding out because this is my thing. Like whether. Since Valentine's Day is a made up thing, you should never feel like if somebody does or doesn't do for you is all that matters. If you live by their praise, you'll die by their their lack of it. You know what I mean? You'll die by the fucking targets on your back. So it's like, if she did that, she could have been like, yo, it's easy. I'm taking myself to Dubai. What better flex? To me, that's a better flex than anybody saying they gave you something and you posting it.
Okay, that's exactly what I was thinking too. That was my takeaway from it. It was just like another one of those say it with your chest moments. You know what I mean? Like, I got this for me. I did this for me. Like, self-love. Again,
I love myself. I self-love myself.
Self-love is
that's right. And sometimes some self-love is a little bit more expensive than other self-love. Some shit you could just get it for the free. You ain't got to do nothing but get some quiet time. You feel me? But at the end of the day, that's kind of how I feel about it. If she didn't have to do all that if it was nobody there, but I've seen people that have faked that though too. That's like a real thing. People fake having boyfriends and fake. It's Instagram shit, yo. At the end of the day, this is all Instagram bullshit. This shit wouldn't be nothing really, or we wouldn't know about it if there wasn't no Instagram.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you're like that creep dude that takes a fucking rubber doll on a date and fucking on Valentine's Day, like, this is my girl right here, and just creeps everybody in the fucking restaurant out. You ever seen that shit before? The rubber doll was a little much.
No, but I kind of want to go out with him and his doll. I want to make it.
Hey, check it out. This is my fuck doll.
If anybody has a fuck doll, let me know and we could fucking make it a triple date.
It's just like you're like
unlocked.
You're like, yo, are you okay? She okay? She don't talk much, does she?
Hey, they look better when they don't talk. No, I'm just kidding. That's weird.
When they don't talk because they're doing something else with their fucking mouth. But anyways,
that's neither here nor there.
Thanks, Buffy. So anyways, okay, so she was wilding for that one. We've seen a little post today. I brought it up in the group chat. I just want to know how you feel about it. They said that the group of researchers have now developed a technology where they could see through walls with only Wi-Fi signal. They didn't have a lot of details on it, but I know that it brings out a deep, dark fear of yours. So I figured we'd address it on the podcast, like any normal person would. So
unload all that personal baggage on.
Exactly. Let us defile ourselves in front of let us truly be exposed in front of for the whole world to hear our bullshit. You know what I mean? But no, so how do you feel about that? I want you, after you tell me how you feel about it, I want you to tell me at least 2 good things that you think could come of it from having it. We already know what the negative shit is. Why, we're gonna list that off too. But go ahead. So you ain't fucking with this or what?
No, this is like you mentioned, a deep, dark fear, right? Like in the back of my mind, where I think of weird things. Okay, I've thought to myself, like, what if somebody can fucking look through my walls and see me, like. Shut up. Come on. I'm being vulnerable.
I'm sorry. I'm listening. I have the most ridiculous mind. Like, so when you say certain shit, I'm not making fun of the situation, but I be trying to.
Tell me what you thought of, because I'm curious.
That's the thing. I can't always say what I think. It's more for myself to enjoy than it is to bring out to everybody else.
That's the thing, okay? Is that I'm a real dirtbag, okay? And
no, go ahead.
Who knows what's going on in these walls any time?
In outer space?
Right? Like, I don't know. So it's always been like really weird to me. I think of really weird scenarios, and that's one of them, where people can see through my walls and see, like, I don't know, see me without me seeing them or something. And so this brings to life a whole ass new fear. Like, how much could they see? What could they see? What kind of Wi-Fi? Like, there's questions. I don't know.
I just think that it's terrible. Like, it's going to really, whoever job that is, if they ever decide to use it for whatever, to spy, to look for criminals or whatever it is, whatever. Imagine that person's job in the bullshit they got to see that they don't want to see. There's probably some shit that they might want to see, like, you know what I mean? But think of the bullshit you see that you don't fucking want to see. There's just some shit that you don't need to see, period. Like, I don't think that there's anything really good. I mean, I'm sure it could help people in a certain way, but I think that the negative aspect of having that is far outweighs the what it could do. Because I'm like you, like, first of all, I have no shame because I've been to prison and all my dignity has been stripped from me. So I learned to not have shame about nothing. But then I came home and I restored my dignity by understanding that I'm like, I don't have to live like a fucking animal out on the streets and shit, you know what I mean? But so being that, it's like I get it. But I've lived in similar situations. They couldn't see through the walls, but they could see everyone at all times. So it's like, you feel me? Couldn't even jerk off in peace. It's like, you know what I mean? So it's like at the end of the day, I wouldn't want it to be out like this out here. You know, I think it's some bullshit that they're gonna try to justify with like, oh, this could save lives. We could catch criminals and this. And it's like, nah, bro. Because all the other shit that y'all could do with it, that I'm pretty sure is illegal and probably a violation of people's human rights. Mm-hmm. I'm not rocking with that shit. I thought that was wild though. I brought it to the table just because, and I'm learning that that's one of like people's real deep dark secrets. More and more, I feel like we're creating technology that are what do you call that? Not enabling, but we're creating technology that is like setting off those fears in more people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Does that make sense?
It does. Even with Alexa listening and stuff, like,
yeah,
that's just wild. Like, I have to tell people when they're in my house, like, listen, Alexa's listening. Like, you can't.
Your phone's listening to you.
You can say, you know what I mean? Exactly. But Alexa is even more so, bro. Like, I know my phone's listening, but she's like, there's
super sensitive.
Yeah, there's people, I don't know that they would really hear too much besides me yelling at my kids or something. But like,
Alexa, notifying the county about notifying child services.
I got these book recommendations. How to be a better parent.
Yeah, like, are your kids safe? Call 1-800. They're playing commercials and shit like that.
Book on stress management. She really does give me book recommendations. Sometimes she'll light up and be like, I got these book recommendations for you. Would you like to hear it? And I'm like, sure. What do you got for me today? But yeah, anywho, it's a fear. Do you have anything like that that's weird that you think
a deep dark fear? Like what? Maybe. I think everybody has deep dark fear. I don't have a fear of like I said, I have no shame. So, Alexa, what's that noise? If you're gonna listen, Alexa, we play the right music for me or something. If you don't want to hear us, play some tunes so you can hear that. You know what I mean?
But no, I mean, like, otherwise, like, is there any like irrational things that you think of? Like,
irrational?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say. I'm really a different person because not a lot. Don't have a lot of fear of things anymore. Maybe it's because I've seen a lot. I think my as far as irrational fears, I have fears of like other things. I'm very
things.
Yeah, realistic things, but like irrational fears. Like if this technology came out, I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, they're gonna see me when I jerk off. They're gonna see me when I take a shit. They're gonna see me when I got a boner or whatever the fuck. I don't know. They're gonna see. That's their. If you want, like I told you, remember? Yeah. Remember what I told you when we brought this thing out? I was like, they're gonna be bored looking at me because it ain't nothing going on over here anyways. I ain't doing nothing stupid, but I don't like it. I don't fuck with it just because of the fact of that. And as far as deep dark, like irrational fears, I gotta really think about that.
I'm afraid of.
I think I'm like a borderline hypochondriac though.
And a hypochondriac is somebody who thinks that they're sick often, or?
A hypochondriac is someone that always thinks that they're sick, and it's always something. And they sometimes it's even, I think, psychosomatic where they feel symptoms, but it's really just because they're tripping. It's like when you eat an edible and you start flipping out. You're like, my heart's beating fast. That's what it's supposed to do. It's really not, though. It's beating regular, and you're just thinking it's beating fast because you're listening to it. But I think I'm a kind of like, because I'll be like That's the thing. That's what they tell. I'm the type of person that they made this rule for. They're like, don't Google your symptoms when you don't feel good, because you'll fuck around and I have stomach cancer or some crazy shit. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, they tell you that they recommend you contact your physician before you start Googling symptoms and shit, you know, because then you're like, oh shit, you know, the internet is ruthless, like I said. But I'll be like, oh, I'm dying, or maybe I'm feeling this weird. I'm feeling weird. Why do I feel weird? Do I got the Rona? Like, I gotta go check. Like, no, like, you know what I'm saying?
Just, a hella of extra tests inside your closet, like ready to.
Yeah, man. But no, if we're talking about irrational fears, then I'd be like, what if it's these tests that are giving us the Rona? And then I start going down a wormhole. Like I conspiracy theory myself. Like I couldn't follow nobody in their conspiracy theories because I'm too busy making my own and starting my own and shit for myself in my head. You feel me? Does that make sense? I'm like, what if they're fucking spreading the new Rona through these, and while I'm testing myself, I'm really infecting myself. And then it takes days to gestate for me to actually come up positive. So then I'm running around thinking I ain't got the Rona, and I'm really spreading the Rona. See, this is the kind of weird shit. So yeah, maybe that's an irrational fear. And you know what? A lot of time it's like, I'm not scared of it. It's just me just thinking. Like I think a lot. So it's just like, it's not that I'm scared and I don't believe that shit, but it's just irrational. Like sometimes the way I be thinking of shit, like, I don't know. I guess it's just our hood mentality or whatever. So it's like, what's the catch? What, these free?
Yes.
What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? You know what I mean? Like, where you get them from? Like, you know what I'm saying? You just like, it's like whatever. So maybe that's what it is. It's a little bit of that, but it's survival though, instinct. That hood mentality is like, because you're in harsh circumstances, so you use that as your survival technique. And I tell people, I was like, I'm not who I was before, but my survival instincts will always be there. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying? My survival instincts will always
be, though, you know.
Yeah, some people don't got them though.
No,
make sure you teach your kids that self-reliant. I was just having a talk with my family about that. It's important to be self-reliant because you don't want someone to not be able to, your family member to not be able to do something and be at the mercy of someone else because they could do that for them. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know how controlling people are. They'll be like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, and they be trying to like embed themselves in your shit. You do what I mean? Like to the point where you can't move without them. So anyways, that's a whole nother Valentine's Day topic we could talk about some other time. Toxic people. But anyways, fuck that technology. Also another thing, we're going to talk about double standards because I'm going to use an example, but there's a lot of double standards on the planet Earth and in this country that we live in. I look stoned right now, by the way. Anyways,
you're like this right here. Looks like it's going into this with your.
Like, it look like I got handlebar mustache right now. Yeah, that's what it is. Orale. I look like fucking. I look like La Bamba right now. So look. I seen a video a couple of days ago. Came out. I thought it was kind of funny, but at the same time, I understood. I understood the message and why he reacted in the way he did. But there's a video of a female grabbing Busta Rhymes' cheeks in the airport, and she flat out did it. Just walked up and goosed him. You feel me? One time, and he turned around and threw his drink at her. Right?
Yeah.
And people, there was, how it goes. Stuff like this, always sparks up conversation and topics amongst us, and of course, and at society at large, because there is a lot of double standards out there. And some we accept, and some we give the attention that needs to be given, for that shit to change. Like, for instance, how they pay women compared to men, they should pay men. If you do a job, I don't give a fuck what it is. If you do a job, you should get paid for that job, which you get paid for. Mm-hmm. So if the standard rate is this amount, then you should be getting paid. That doesn't matter what you are. Now, if you're not doing your fucking job, that's a different story. I can't speak on that. Yeah. But that's just off the rip. So we know that's a double standard of a sort that definitely needs to, that we could do without. But people were acting like, oh, that ain't no thing. It's nothing. Da-da-da-da. I mean, it really wasn't. But at the same time, your personal space is not a thing. Like, I get it. No one died. That's what they're trying to, I hope that's what they were getting at. Like, no one died. Oh, he's going to be fine. Yeah, he got money. Of course. That's not the point. The personal space is the point. You know, at what point do we allow somebody to do something like that? And, you know, on one hand, it's cool. And at one hand, oh, fuck. Because, you know, if it was Busta Rhymes grabbing somebody's cheeks, it'd be everywhere right now. You know, they'd be on his line. They'd be on his bumper. You feel me?
Yeah.
So my thing is that, you know, where do we draw the line? Where is the line at? Like, you're not going to goose me like that. Because, first of all, ladies, if you reach out and you touch me without asking me, you better be touching me with $100. So, because, it's not free. You know? But if you're gonna goose me, hell no, you better pay me. First of all, guys don't like getting their ass grabbed like that to begin with. So she was out of pocket in a lot of ways. Maybe she probably would have had a better result trying to grab his meat. You know what I mean?
You think so?
I don't know. I don't think, no, to be honest with you. But I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this: if a female came up and touched me, I would rather she grab my dick than grab my ass.
Notes taken. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what I'm saying? It's not for out there for none. No, it's not an invitation by any means, ladies out there in fucking podcast land. Like before, because I might do the same thing to you.
No, I'm just kidding.
If that's the case, I'm charging double at the door. So if you really want to be in there, you're gonna have to pay more. So, but hey, don't worry about that. You know, I'll post my Cash App in the.
You know what I think?
Go ahead.
I think that consent, right, all over again, because maybe because I can't think of any situation where somebody would just be okay with somebody grabbing at them unexpectedly. You know what I mean? Like somebody's just having a drink at the bar and they just get grabbed. Like I can't think of not one person that would be like accepting of that, you know? Yeah,
or okay with it of some sort. No, I get that. But I mean, it depends, you know, some of your friends, you have friends that you see all the time. Maybe you guys fucking sock each other in the arm when you see each other or do something stupid, touch each other's fucking hair. I don't know what girls fucking do. You know what I mean? Fucking.
You're right. I have grabbed a lot of ass. You're
okay.
Right.
So but I think first of all, what people need to understand is like, know who the fuck you're playing with.
Yeah.
And if you don't know Busta Rhymes like that, you know him from a can of paint, you probably don't want to grab him like that. Like
or anybody. If you don't
anybody,
know
period.
Anybody.
Yeah, but I'm just, you know, that's the main example. But yeah, in general, like you're right. Don't touch people. Like I say, even in like they were talking about, we were also talking about how, you know, the whole thing with Chris Brown right now, and I don't really listen to music like that music and shit like that. Like I don't really do R&B of modern time R&B anymore. Just my personal thing. But you know, the same thing. He kind of was like, you know, somebody was giving him shit online about his old domestic violence case, and then, you know, he would just point it out, which he probably shouldn't have did it that way. But he pointed out, he's like, y'all motherfuckers still talking shit about something that happened 17 years ago, and that's already been squashed. And then you guys go run to watch Krishan Rock and Blueface beat each other up in the streets and have a toxic relationship, and where, you know, they're staying together but they still hurting each other, and you guys are tripping on me. First of all, you shouldn't have brought it up, but I mean, that's a double standard though, because it's like, you know, people will weaponize mistakes that you made against you, you know, and for whatever motives or reasons they have, you know. So that's why I always tell people too, like, because of shit like that and how people are and how the internet works, you know, you don't want to run to the internet with all your fucking problems. Mm-hmm. Because what you're doing is you're giving people, you know, maybe you're cool with everybody, but one day maybe you fall out with somebody and they know all your shit. Mm-hmm. And now they could find ways to use that because people are spiteful. Yeah. So, you know, I think it is a terrible double standard, but it's real. And some of them are kind of wild though. Like we were talking about the fighting. Like if you fight girls and guys fighting, it's like you know, it's unforgivable to hit a woman, you know, without her consent. And it's unforgivable, but it's okay. It's okay for her to hit a man. No, like, and people really believe that shit though. Really, really believe it's okay. You can, if you know, she was slapping him up, and we're not going to sit there and jump in. But the minute he defends himself, everybody in the crowd rushes him and beats him up. It's like, nah, man. It's like, it don't work that way.
Or like another one too that really works my nerves is that like I see videos where like the women will expose themselves, right? Like their boobs or like their ass or something, and then to like a complete stranger in public, and it'd be like, "Ooh, yeah, girl, what's good?" or something. But then if a guy were to do that, oh, it's all bad, you know?
You're a fucking perv. You're a sexual predator.
Yeah. And that's out to me. Like, let's see all the genitals. If
it would be Hot Mama fighting for the rights of wieners. You know what I mean? Don't ask me. Just know I'm not surprised. This comes to no surprise to me, but
I'm
to everybody else.
I want to fight for all the genitals to be exposed. You know.
First of all, look. Whatever. I don't want to see it though if I'm walking down the goddamn street, period. You know, and titties too. Like everybody got a preference, you know what I mean? But I'm saying like, you know, that's a whole nother can of worms right there.
Like you're out with your son at dinner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know what I mean? Like that's hella out. That's hella inappropriate. Like I'll flash on a man or a woman who's exposing themselves in a public setting where there's children or something.
That's basically what I was trying to say. It's for my kids. I don't want to be walking around my kids and you know what I mean? But at the same time, if it's the right place and the right time with the right person, then maybe my wiener does come out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And I get it. It has to be the right circumstances. So yeah, so no, it's a lot of double standards though, and it's a lot of bullshit. Like I'm a firm believer. Please, nobody hits nobody. Keep your fucking hands to yourself. Of course, man. You know whether people want to admit it or not. Physically, we're built different. Physically, we're stronger than women. So, you hit a woman, you're gonna hurt a woman, but at the same time, a woman will hurt you in other ways. She gonna hurt you, bro. She gonna hurt you. Women are I seen a dope ass breakdown of kind of like the roles of, you know, like as far as just how we were built, you know, not so much of a person, but how we were built. It was pretty impressive. I don't got it, or else I played the clip. But anyways, nobody hits nobody. Everybody love everybody. And I don't care who you are. If you hit me, I'm going to defend myself. Since I'm a man, there's going to be degrees to which I defend myself. You dig what I'm saying? If you're another man, I'm going to protect myself at all times. If you're a woman, you know, I'm going to try to get away from you. You know what I mean? And try to, you know, block and maybe even deflect something. But at the same time, if you're pushing and you keep swinging, you might catch an elbow. And that's just anybody in general. You dig what I'm saying? What kind of elbow? It might be a light elbow, or it might be, you know, the heavy elbow. So
the people's elbow.
The people's elbow. The most important thing is don't fucking hit nobody if you're not ready to get hit back.
Grabbing on nobody neither, right?
Don't grab nobody's yeeks all in the motherfucking airport and shit. And they don't come up to me. Like I said, if you come up to me and touch me, man, you better be touching me with some money. So if you're a grubby little, there's only two ways I'm gonna react. You know what I mean? If you're a dude, you're gonna get punched, and if you're a girl, depends on what you look like. No, I'm just kidding. I'm talking shit. But like I said, it's a double standard, but it don't apply to everybody. You dig what I'm saying, man?
That double standard, huh?
Yeah, it's a triple double standard. You know what I mean? We're stacking them now. But so look, I think we did it. I think, you know, we just released this podcast is over. I'm spent. Spent. So go ahead and now that you're on the podcast, once you say where people to reach you, you better make sure that you always shout out your podcast and where people can find it, so they know. That's part of your outro now. You dig?
Okay.
So to remember, you are the brand. So wherever you go, you must spread that brand shamelessly and at all times. So when they tell you, hey, how can we find you? Make sure you can find me in your motherfucking mama's podcast in her motherfucking ear talking all this slick shit because she like that shit.
No.
I'm just saying that's an example. Like, you know, maybe somebody's mama do like somebody's mama do. All right. I'm just saying.
You can find me in your daddy's DMs. No, I'm just kidding.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like to buy some tie-dye? And listen to my podcast. That's how my DM sound. Let me slide in your DM and tell you, hey, listen to my music and fucking buy my clothes, you motherfuckers. Hey, it's crazy how
no, it's crazy
how the internet works. That's like it's like we skipped the knocking out people's door how we used to do. Now it's just like we're knocking on your DMs like, yo, check out my music. Seriously.
Hey, I don't even mind though. I'm just like, I definitely took note and sent my podcast out to a couple of people that way, like through the DM, like, hey, check it out.
Yeah, you got to.
No shame.
You can't have no shame. You know why? Because shame only makes you feel bad about yourself. We're not about feeling bad about ourselves. We're about feeling good. You feel me?
Yeah.
So go ahead now. Let them know, how can they find you and where can they find the podcast?
So go and follow me on Instagram at totally.tie-dyed.designs. And then you can listen to me talk that shit on my own podcast at The Love Fix. That's XXX on any streaming platform.
There you go. And that's love spelled Love, because a lot of times people spell love the other way.
Is that with their mouth?
No. Well, yeah, because how I spell love is, I need a BJ. That's how I spell it.
It's spelled BJ. That's how you spell love.
Yeah, basically, give me a BJ. It's a phrase, actually. Like, hey, if you want to know the way to my heart, it's through my penis. So
that's horrible.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, ladies. I'm just saying. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble, huh? So hey, little do y'all know. But so with that being said, make sure that you guys check her out. Y'all already know how to find us. We we fucking around. There's no Patty here to stop our bullshit, so we're just gonna keep running with it. Like, if we don't if we don't get our own selves off, we gotta.
I've never been in the same room with Patty to do a podcast yet.
Yeah, okay. Like, y'all are both billionaires and shit. All right, don't forget, you joined the billionaire club too. You know what I mean? You and fucking Tim, both of y'all look like some low key, like, some minimalist billionaires, like, where you're like, yeah, we just living, we live a regular everyday life. We got 2 kids. I go to work. She's a house mother. But, at any time, what I'm saying, 100 million out the bank right now. What's happening? And then Patty, of course, she's just like that. She's like one of these people, when we say these people using it for good or bad, it's like, fortunate for us, Patty's one of the good people. You dig what I'm saying? So shout out to Patty fighting for our rights out there, holding the line down between anarchy and chaos, So shout out to Patty.
Yeah, we'll get you, Patty. It's cool.
Once again, I was telling you that there's no Patty here, so to cut us off on our bullshit, and here we are still going on some bullshit right
now. Oh, we need that producer.
we need some balances, because we definitely on this side. We definitely on the same side on a lot of shit over here. You got 2 scumbags. We need somebody that's more squeaky clean on the to mediate this shit. This shit's going downhill.
It ain't happening.
It's going downhill real fast. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, it's the No Invite Podcast. You know where to find us at. I just told you where, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be a little bit more broader for everyone else, because not everybody's mama listens to the podcast like that. So, you can find us on all podcasting platforms. Just look up No Invite Podcast. You can find all the episodes there. Subscribe. Leave a rating, a review, slander us in the comments, whatever makes you feel better, whatever you got to tell your friends to make yourself look cool. We're okay with it. We could be your fucking cop out. Don't trip. As long as you're helping running up the numbers and keeping your hate at least 6 feet distance at all times, we're going to be just great. Also, you could make sure, if you really fuck with us and you really want to support us, then you go to our YouTube channel, because that's where we really like to see our interaction the most. Go to RiBirth Media Films. That's RiBirth Media Films with a Z. You could listen to the podcast. Like, we got vlogs and different content up there. Hit the playlist section. It's all nice and neat for you. Short attention span fucks that can't seem to. If it's not the first thing I click on, the veins start popping out of my neck. It's all really there, nice and neat for you. You don't have to do a lot of work to get to it. It's like peeling off the wrapper to some gum or something. It's just and you're there. And it's not too much struggling. You know, it's not eating crab legs and shit. So, with that being said, thank you once again, Hot Momma, for being on the podcast. Thank you, everybody out there, for listening. And thank you, bitch, for doing what she does. And let's be a bitch. Anyways, all right. Sorry, Patty. I'm sorry. You know, I know if you're listening, you're mad. You're very disappointed in me right now. I do this for you. If you didn't say that you were disappointed, I would never do this shit. My motivation comes from different places, all right?
Cue the Eminem tape.